Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be the introduction. Think about that for a minute. Guys, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So first of all, what is an introduction? An introduction is what you are watching right now. I'm introducing this video and you are consuming it. That is one introduction. Another introduction is when you purchase a book. You read the introduction to the book and see if that book interests you. Same thing when you meet an individual. How do you meet a person? That's right, you are introduced to a person. Now, all three of these examples are very important because you will be introduced to many people throughout your life. You'll be introduced to many relationships, many new things, many countries, many classes. There are so many things on this planet to experience, and you are constantly being introduced to new things. Perhaps this is your first video ever consuming content on YouTube. There you go. Here's your introduction. Now, having said that, introductions are vital. They are very important that you pay attention to the content that you're consuming and or the individuals you are meeting. Remember, there's an expression. You can't make it a first impression two different times or twice, something like that. You can't make it first impression twice, something like that. It's very important. And those words are exactly true. Because when you meet people, you need to insulate and protect yourself. Now, I'm not suggesting don't go out and meet new friends or build new relationships or romantic interests, things like that. Not at all. I am saying go slowly. Introduce yourself, do what you're doing, take pause, take stock, and don't reveal yourself all at once. Remember, that's what you did when you met the narcissist. The narcissist consumed each and every word that you mentioned in the beginning of the relationship because they wanted to figure out what made you tick. And they wanted to weaponize that, and of course they did at a later date against you. In other words, you were sharing your information perhaps about your past romantic relationships, your business, your financial resources, your family, your friends, your hobbies, your interests, your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations. And what did the narcissist do? They paid very close attention to these words that you were mentioning, and they took mental notes. And believe me when I tell you, the narcissist, when they first meet you, they have a memory like a steel trap. They remember virtually everything to weaponize it against you. And of course, remember down the road, they will gaslight you and say that they didn't say things. You get my point. Having said that, introductions are huge. It is at the introduction. Let's say you're watching a movie. But if you are, the very beginning of the movie, the introduction or the previews, the trailers, that will let you know if you're interested in watching the movie. And then let's say that you are, and you begin to watch the movie. And then in the first 5, 10, 20 minutes, you're like, wow, this isn't what I thought it was. Maybe you turn it off. Maybe you consume YouTube content. Maybe you become educated. Who knows? But my point is introductions are massive. Now go back in time when you met the narcissist. Maybe it was a business relationship. Was the narcissist kind or nice to you in the beginning? I don't know. Maybe they were a flat out arrogant person and they let you know that in the beginning because they were the boss or they wanted to put you in your place in the beginning. Either way, that introduction, if that's how your boss turned out to be, they're telling you right then and there, this is going to be a bumpy ride for you. Do you want to stay in the company or do you not? Maybe it was a different kind of boss. Maybe that boss seemed to be a pleasant individual and they were learning about you, doing many times what the narcissist does, doing their homework, the reconnaissance on you, and you shared with them things that you wanted to, and perhaps you shared a little bit more. And then you figured out this person was making you work weekends, long hours, on holidays, birthdays, things like that, i.e. they are a narcissist. Doesn't mean everybody is, but for this example, that person is. And then what happens? They weaponize that against you, and they keep hammering you more and more. That is exactly what I'm talking about. So when you're introduced to somebody, anybody, take it with a grain of salt. People are not always who you think they are, and that could be anybody. It could be anybody you see on the news or consume on content on YouTube or movies or an acquaintance or a friend, or it doesn't matter, because people many times, not everybody, but there are people, and the narcissist is certainly one of these individuals, who will portray themselves as one person and they are the exact opposite behind closed doors. In other words, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And really get the message here. When you're introduced to anything, you can tell rather quickly if it benefits you or if it is of interest. Let's go back to college or high school. You had to take certain courses because perhaps they were required. Let's put it that way. Well, maybe you took a course in mathematics and you're not that good at math, but you had to do it, you had to pass it because the curriculums dictated that you had to, and you did it. But the first day you're lost, you're confused, like, oh my gosh, what is this? I don't understand this stuff. And we all have an Achilles heel. We all don't learn at the same rate. We all don't have the same interests of learning, meaning maybe math wasn't your thing for this example, but let's say what did you do when you were introduced to math? You realized you had to pass that class, so you had to make adjustments to do so. And you had to study harder and put more time into it and figure it out. But that was an authentic class. In other words, that was a class. It wasn't a relationship. But you knew in the introduction to that class it was going to be difficult. Same thing with people. Let's say that you're on an airplane flying halfway around the world right now, and you sit next to somebody and they're not being nice. Let's put it that way. Maybe they're taking up elbow space or talking loudly or laughing out loud or consuming your energy. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a long ride. Yeah, it will be. Until when? Until you put a boundary up and you understand, hey, I'm going to put my earbuds in. I'm going to drown you out and politely not pay attention to you or fake sleep or read, whatever you're going to do. But introductions speak volumes. And many times when you're introduced to an individual or a circumstance or situation, if it doesn't feel genuine or good to you, you really need to pay attention to it, trust your instincts and intuition, and pay attention to red flags. And if you can, remove yourself from that environment. Using the airplane example I just gave you, if that's the case, and let's say you're on the airplane right now, God bless you, but if you are, maybe ask the flight attendant, is it possible if I move my chair, I'm a little bit uncomfortable here, and they can relocate you. Honestly, things like that. Same thing with math. If going back to the math example in high school or college, what do you do there? You get a tutor, or you practice and study harder, and then you get the passing grade, and you're like, wow, I did that, I feel great. Then on to the next thing. But introductions are very important, and I'm suggesting for this video, be very careful of the amount of information you share with people. Do not be as transparent as perhaps, let's say, you could have been pre-cell phone or pre-internet days. Way back then, for those of you who remember those days, you met people mostly in the town or community you lived in, or at a function or organization like a school or a church, things like that. Now people still meet each other in those environments, but now you can virtually meet anybody on your smartphone around the globe 24/7. And what is the smartphone? That's right, it's the narcissist's best friend. Maybe it's even how they met you on a dating app or on some other app or some other site on the smartphone. And maybe they broke your boundaries down and they got to know you quickly. And then lo and behold, boom, you're in a narcissistic relationship. That's an example. And I'm not trying to trigger you or upset you. I'm letting you know that the introductions to everything, every single thing, they speak volumes. I'll give you a real life example. I just came from a location where I am, and I purchased a article of clothing. And when I walked in that store, and by the way, I have not purchased anything in so long, it's remarkable, but side note, but I purchased an article of clothing, which actually is this hoodie I'm wearing. And I'm very happy. It's good for me, put it that way. I like it. It's comfortable and it's keeping me warm. But when I went in that store, the people were incredible. They were remarkable. And they were like so kind and friendly and accommodating. And what was that to me? That was my introduction to their location in the store. And I had a great experience. And not only did I have a great experience, I will go back there and purchase items when I can. Not every day, definitely not, but you get my point. So introductions are huge. They're vital, they're important. And what you need to understand is when you're introducing things, you need to be your best person. You need to be cautious, and you need to understand if the thing that you're introducing, is it something you want to be a part of? Meaning, if the way you introduce yourself to an organization, are you giving it your all? Are you committed? Are you driven? And flip the coin. When people are introducing themselves to you, do they have a hidden agenda? Are they wanting to get something from you? Are they wanting to consume your time? Are they wanting to have you fall in love with them? Are they wanting to take your job? Are they wanting to take your social circle? Are they wanting to future fake? That list goes on and on and on. So why I'm saying that again is when you are introduced to anything, a book, a movie, a class, a video, an individual, you really need to pay attention to how you feel, and are you oversharing or not? Many times, authentic, genuine people, until they get the wisdom on channels like mine and many others, and again, thank you very much for being here, many people overshare. They really do, because they believe that most people have their best interest at heart and that most people are built like they are. That's not the case. For any of you who have gone through a narcissistic relationship, you know exactly what I'm talking about. These people go under cloak and dagger many times, and they weaponize all the information you provide to them about yourself at a later date, or maybe even early on. Point being, you can't be in a narcissistic relationship. And once you've identified that somebody is one, or a toxic individual overall, you need to remove them, go no contact with them, block them, remove all people associated with them, and fly monkeys. And that's what you do. Now, this video is to let you know about introductions. Introductions are huge. You can tell in a few moments whether you're going to resonate or click with somebody, or perhaps, I want to stay away from that person. I don't really have a good feeling about him. These are called having boundaries. It's called growth. It's called abundance. It's called self-awareness. It's called self-love. And it's called not putting anyone in front of yourself other than yourself. Remember, you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from beautiful Carolinas, the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Stay true, stay blessed, continue to become awakened and aware, and understand you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. And introductions are vital. They're absolutely imperative. In the romantic setting, I'll say this, and then I'll show you what kind of sweatshirt this is, hoodie, whatever we're calling it. In romantic relations, this is a prime example. When you first meet somebody, you go on a date. Are they on their smartphone? Are they on their smartphones? Are they treating the waitstaff nicely? Are they paying attention to you? Are they dressed properly or appropriately? Are they saying derogatory things? These are all red flags. If the person you're going on the first date with, if they're not, you don't click with them or resonate with them, I strongly suggest you move on and say thank you, but it's been a great evening, but I don't think this is going to work out, or whatever you want. That's a little dating advice. And the hoodie, by the way, it is a Lululemon. Yes, my first piece of clothing from Lululemon. So I got it because it's freezing cold up here. Guys, no matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. God bless you. Have a great evening. Continue to invest in yourself. You are not alone. I love you, and I will talk to you tomorrow. All right. Good night, you guys. Bye.